Hi guys, today I wanted to share with you guys this amazing plant. This right here is called a giant leper plant or Ligularia gigantea. There's so many different names for it. I'll put it all on the blog. This is a really amazing plant. Not only is it beautiful and great for the landscape, but if you don't want this aesthetic in your landscape, it's still a useful tool, and I'll explain to you guys why. I use it around the landscape as a meter, as opposed to putting it in the landscape, and I'll explain why I don't want it in the landscape. I don't want this plant in our landscape because I'm trying to create a landscape that is low maintenance and allows me to just basically trim off branches to prune things off, but I don't want to have to dig into the ground and split rhizomes and all that stuff. I don't want to do that. And this one actually does grow in bulbs and it'll multiply in the ground. And if it's something that you haven't planned for, then you will have to eventually dig it up and split it up and thinning it out and stuff, which I prefer not to have to do that. It's a good meter for visual reminders, because sometimes you don't know if your irrigation is running properly. What you can do is put it around areas where your irrigation isn't established yet, but you want to be aware of whether or not the area is getting watered. For example, like if you have a temporary irrigation system or a drip system, whatever it is, this plant is useful in that it will let you know whether or not your plants are being watered, because after 4 or 5 days around 75 degrees temperature, it will drop its leaves. It won't die, because this plant does not die at the drop of a hat, but the leaves will let you know. Like, it'll just be wilty, and then you water and it bounces back up. So it's really a good plant for transitional spaces where maybe one day you'll put irrigation, but you're kind of testing out the space and stuff. So every time I walk by and this plant is not drooping, then we're good, but if it's drooping, I got to get out there and water it. So it's just a really cool plant to have, but it's beautiful too. If you have a large space, it makes a good hedge. Like if you're not trying to keep things out, but you just want some mid-ground level type plants, this is really pretty. Look.